Well, let me get started here first. Today's the 2nd of October. It is still hot as the dickens outside. And every other day it's going to rain till I don't know when. So there's been a request here for some problems. Chapter 10, you said what through what?
5 through 7.
5?
6 through 7.
Okay. So I'm looking at page 275. Is that where you're looking at? One that says 10.5 that you borrowed $585 at 9%?
Yep.
Okay. So problem 10.5. Principal is $585. R is 9%, which of course we're going to turn into a decimal. And what else are we told here? We're told we borrow on June the 5th. And we pay it back on Dec 15. So we want to know how long we had the loan, what the interest was, and what the maturity value is. All right. So when I write this down, I always put the latter date on top. Makes it easier to subtract. So let me see if I can find my day of the year chart. So which day, what number day is December the 15th?
348.
I got 349. Oh,
Yeah.
You're right. No, it's 349.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
349, and June the 5th will be what day?
June 5th. 156.
156. Now let's subtract 3, 9, borrow 1, it makes that a 2, 193. Is that what y'all got? So this is days 10.5.
Okay, babe, they're letting you do the wrong one. That's not even what we're doing. I'll tell him what he's doing the wrong one.
What?
What number are you on? She looks like she knows what she's doing. Where are you at? Everybody's lost. Nobody knows what problem you're doing.
It says 10.5.
Huh?
It says 10.5.
Not on the.
On chapter 10, the 5th problem.
Well, I understand that, but that's not the good problem.
All right, how many people have a book?
What's the problem on the number?
On the number of is Leslie Carter borrowed $17,100 to pay for a child's education at Riverside Community College.
Well, I asked you if this was the one, and you said, yeah.
Yeah, it is
10:15.
I gave you the numbers, though.
Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry.
His
Well,
number.
this is the old problem. When I assign these, it gives me the number, the right number. But when I assign them, it renumbers it. So, and I haven't figured out yet how to. I can look that up. What is it? Community college? Should I go on and finish this problem first, or you just want to throw it away?
I am fine with throwing it away. I don't know if anyone else is.
Looks like 10-15.
That's Riverside.
$15,000, Riverside Community College,
Yep.
9 months.
Yeah, so mine says 17,100.
And this one says 15 in the book.
I wonder.
It's switching around our numbers.
I didn't do it.
In the book it says 15,000.
Mine says 17,100.
I wonder if there's a little bit of a randomizer
Hers says 200.
in the on the online problems. I wonder if it changes some numbers.
That's what I would have to think.
Why, you don't grade these, you grade them yourself?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I said we can't change it.
I don't know. It usually there's. I haven't seen anything there that would indicate to me that that's what's going on. It's just a possibility.
This thing
Well, hers
hates
says
me.
17,100, mine says 17,200.
Hers says 15,000 something.
That's what my book is. Just 15,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, the book just says 15,000.
Interesting. So y'all don't want me to finish this one? I was rolling on here. I'm going to finish this one.
We did that. We sure did. We did. I got it right here.
I thought these numbers looked familiar. I was rolling with it though. All right, I'll just erase all this because this is, you know how much fun this is to just sit here and go like this. It's so much fun. Made my day. So this is something like 1015. If you don't have the same numbers, you can either write down what I did and then go back and change to your numbers later, or you can put your numbers in to start with and figure out your answer is going to be a little different than mine. So 1015 in the book, this is page,
So this is number 5 with the Riverside College, right?
probably,
Probably.
yeah, probably.
I'm very reassured.
I wonder if it'd make more sense if I actually opened up the book. Let me see what my book's got.
It's on your question 5.
Interest.
It's all right. That's crazy.
Well, I'm just showing you the answers. You said number 5?
Yep.
See, mine, this one's got 17.5. That's different than the book's got.
You mean 15.7?
Oh, 15.7, yeah. What do you got?
I have 15 or 17.10 or 17.1.
And I got
She
17.
says, why do they want to do this? Why that's what it's like that?
Keep people from just copying down the answers to somebody else. Yeah, this is 11 months too, and it's a different percent. Oh well.
Okay, so hold on. So what's
I'm going to work the problem out.
okay? Work it out.
I'll work it out. I'm going to use the numbers that are in the book. All but a couple of you have the book, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
So that's probably the closest we're going to get to ever agreeing on anything. Except this rock and a big spider.
Leave my spider alone. I kept it for a week.
All right. So Leslie Hart borrowed $15,000, pay for her child's education at Riverside Community College. You know, there's like 1,100 community colleges in America. Leslie must repay the loan at the end of 9 months in one payment of 5.5% interest. What interest must Leslie pay? What's the maturity value? So P equals, in this case, 15,000 R of the problem in the book is 5.5%. And you could write that like this if that helps you. Oops, got too many zeros in there. If that helps you convert it to a decimal. Did y'all better see what I did?
Yeah, mine says 5.25.
Yeah, they're all different. Except the books should agree with each other. I would hope. T equals 9 months. Now remember on the time, you just have to use whatever unit on the bottom that you have on the top. So the interest is the principal times the rate multiplied by the time. So 15,000 times 0.055, and we have 9 months over 12 months, and we use months, so they'll cancel out. What's your question?
Well, mine says 5.25% interest. Is that 5.25 or is it
Yeah.
0.525?
If you have 5.25,
So it's 5.
that's 5.25%, and then when you convert it,
So then 0.525.
yeah, as a decimal. I think a lot of times it's easier to go on and take and express that fraction as a decimal and then convert it. Yeah, do it like I did, do 2 steps. Okay?
I did.
Good plan. Let's see here. I need a calculator. Is everybody okay so far? Notice here I had 9 months, so I used 12 months as the denominator. Just have to have the same units there, see the units cancel out. So now we're going to have 15,000 times 0.055 times the quantity, use your parentheses, 9 divided by 12. Close parentheses, press enter. I got $618.75. Everybody with me? Now your maturity value is the original principal plus the interest. So that's going to be your 15,000 plus your 618.75. So maturity value is $15,618.75. Y'all okay? So that's an answer, and that's an answer.
So the 600 or whatever is the interest.
618.75 is the interest.
And mine is wrong.
Y'all see what I got here?
Done the exact same thing you done. With my numbers in there and mine felt wrong.
Y'all see this? I'll copy it over here.
Well, I done the exact same thing you did. Mine did not come out.
Yeah, that's weird.
What?
On hers, when she entered in her numbers and did it the exact same way, it said she was wrong. She did it right.
What answer did you get?
For her entrance.
Interest?
Yeah, it's,
677.25.
677?
yeah, but she has,
I've got 17,200,
yeah.
and I just tried plugging my numbers in to
Oh.
what you've done.
Well, if this is different, this is gonna be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
What was yours?
17,200.
Well, let's try it real quick. Watch. I've got this fancy calculator. I can do this. Second entry. Now all I gotta do is go back here and change this to 17.2. Is that what your numbers are?
17.2 and then.
Okay, now press enter.
No, my interest is 5.
The interest. Well, okay, we can go back and change that too. Second entry. It's a little bit harder. You say 5 1/4?
Yeah.
With this, I got to do this. I can put the 2 there. Then I got to do a second insert to get the 5.
Yeah,
677.25.
That's what I come up with.
Well, you're right.
Well, the book,
Oh.
The book.
6 months.
at the end of 6 months, mine's is 6 months.
Well, we can do second entry one more time. And go back here and change the 9 to a 6.
There
450
we
and
go.
150.
That's what we go.
So I need to put a 6 here.
I love his calculator. All right, but look what I found here. I knew I would have guessed 1 trillion. This is the estimate of total student debt in the United States.
Someone needs to be nice enough to just erase it.
Well,
Start fresh.
Oh, I like that idea.
here's a novel thought. One of the best things you can do for your citizens is to educate them. I think as long as you take it seriously, education ought to be free.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want you just showing up and, drawing a check, as it were. But as long as you're making an honest effort, I think we should educate you. Now, the problem with this $1.2 trillion is, among other things, there is pretty much a whole generation, maybe more, of people who can't buy their first house because they're paying off student loans. And that has long-term effects on the whole economy.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't get me started. Don't get me started. All right, well, finally, at great cost there, we worked a problem. Which other one? Which one? Number 6.
Now it's right.
Let's see, number 6. Janine Camot? Ugh. All right, mine's got 9% for 26,000.
11% for 34,000.
16,000.
This looks like problem 1021 in the book. So I'll work that one and y'all can figure out how to change the appropriate numbers.
That's hard for me too.
Well, it's actually probably going to help you in the long term. All right, in the book, and this is on page 277, we were told on April 5th, 2015, Janine took out an 8.5% loan for $20,000. The loan was due March 9, 2016. Okay? Use ordinary interest to calculate the interest. Ignore the leap year. I wish we could. What total amount will Janine pay on March 9th? What?
Really? It's got leap year in the problem?
It says that in the book.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure the bank's going to charge you for that day. Okay? I'm confident. The book said just ignore it. Now, what's different about this problem? What do you see there that's tricky?
What do you see there was what?
That's tricky?
Well, they both have the same, have one, but one the ordinary interest and the other the exact interest.
What?
Right? Am I right on?
No. Well, there may be some. That's not what I want you to see. The tricky part of this one is the money's borrowed one year and it's paid back the next. Okay, that slightly complicates calculating
The day.
the number of days. So I think I explained this to you once before. There's two ways you could do this. You could look at April 5th to the end of the year, get that number, and then add whatever number of days from the next year. I think sometimes I do it a different way, but this is actually a pretty good, easy way of doing it. So,
You got ordinary and exact difference.
what?
You got ordinary and exact difference. And
Where?
Right here.
like Sabrina, she's
It
got,
says on April 5th, 2015, Janine Campoff took out an 11% loan for $34,000.
Yeah.
The loan is due March the 9th, 2016. Janine's terms are ordinary interest. Sabrina Bowers took out the same loan as Janine. Sabrina's terms, however, are exact interest.
So
Okay.
do number 6, not to do 21 and
Well,
22.
That's right. Apparently in the book they've combined 1021 and 1022. So let me do 1021, then we'll do 1022. Okay? All right.
What is wrong with our book today?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with the book. They just have to come up with new things to sell new copies. Would be my idea. So, let's figure out the number of days. The end of the year is 365 days. The loan was made on April 5th, wasn't it? So, what day of the year is April 5th?
April 5th.
95? So let's subtract that. What'd y'all get? Now remember, this is just to the end of the year. Now, the loan goes over into the next year. Today, what? March 9th? So what day of the year is March the 9th? 68?
So we add that to 270.
Yep. So the total days we have in the loan is 338. Is that what y'all got? Now the good news is that's the same number of days in the second part of the problem. So we only have to figure that once. All right, is everybody with me so far? So the principal is, according to the book, 20,000. Y'all agree with that? R equals, mine's got 8.5. What do y'all got?
11.
We're talking about the book.
Yeah, it has 8.5.
Work with me, guys. Well, I went on and converted that, didn't I? Let's put it down the way it is. So the book says this. I would go on and convert it to 8.5, and then that in decimal. Okay? So the interest is the principal times the rate times the time you have the loan. Principal in the book is 20,000. The rate is 0.085. And the first part of the problem here, 821, your book says use ordinary interest. which means we're going to have what here? $360, and we're going to have $338 there. You okay with that? Those cancel out. We'll put parentheses around that. Calculator. Times 0.085 times the quantity, 338 divided by 360. Boom. $1596.11 using the numbers from problem 1021. You okay with that? All right. Now, here's what happens in the book. There's a separate problem here, 1022, and this is C1021, except use exact interest. So the online question combined two problems out of the book into one, which is okay because they want you to see what the difference would be. So same numbers except for the number of days in a year. Interest equals PRT. We had 20,000, didn't we? Times 0.085 times 338 days. And this time it's 365 days. Those cancel out. We want to put parentheses around there, don't we? Calculator. Now the good news is, if you got one of these calculators, you can do second entry and put a 5 there, and don't have to put all of those numbers back in. So for this one, I get the interest is $15.74 1/4. What y'all get? Based on my numbers.
For some reason, but they want to know the difference between Sabrina's interest and what's her name's interest.
Hmm?
Well, if they got the same days and all that stuff, it's the same, it's the same.
Nope.
They're not the same.
Well, see, that's why I don't like math.
No, it's got nothing to do with math.
It does.
No. That's what it's got to do with right there. See, that's the tricky part right there. Well, it does point out in the book. Although I've really,
360 days.
what?
Why is it talking 360 days?
That's
That's the, what is it, the bank rule? It's got a name. Yeah, it's, I didn't say I agreed with it. I just said that's what it is.
Ordinary.
yeah, ordinary.
That's ordinary interest versus exact interest. It's on page 267. If you've got a book, it's on page 267. It's called the Banker's Rule. And look, if you were running a bank, which one of these two would you rather use? Yeah, that's what they want you to see here. Which one, if you were running a bank, which one would you rather use? Why do you think they call it the Banker's Rule? Because for this particular loan, it earned the bankers almost $22, didn't it? More? Everybody look at what's on the board. Look at what's on the board. Did you use the same numbers I did?
No, just the 338, 365, and 338, 360. About 460.
But what did you use for the?
I'm just doing the interest on the days. I need to do the whole thing.
But what principal and what interest rate were you using?
Me?
Yeah.
I was using, $10,000 for 5%.
Okay. Well, if you use a different principal at a different interest rate, you're not going to get the same numbers I
No,
did.
no, no, but I'm using the same numbers as years, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
years.
The days that we have the loan should be the same.
Right. That's what I did. I don't get it.
Don't get what?
You don't like me.
It what?
I legit put in everything that you put in the same way you did.
Into what? Let me see. Is there a calculator involved?
Yes, right here.
Park Bank.
See, Jennifer.
Park Bank. Let's see here. I'm gonna start a new page. Park.
Jennifer. Parkman. All right.
1026, I think.
Okay. What a weird name. Jennifer Rick.
No, I drive for FRS, and so on Saturdays, I pick up a guy named Ben Back.
Ben who?
Ben Back, B-A-C-K. And he's blind, you know, and I told him, I said, I know you get this a lot. I said, but how long you been back?
I hope he laughed.
He did.
All right, 10/26, September 14th. Jennifer went to Park Bank and, according to this book, borrowed $2,500.
I think something clicked back here. Did you hear it?
Where?
Oh.
Eureka.
I don't know. Could have been, she just kicked her shoes off and was getting into that. I don't know.
Okay.
11 3/4.
Okay, so that's right. So these answers have to be right.
We'll figure this out. Let's don't pull our hair out. You'll want that later on.
Now, the difference is the exact interest minus ordinary interest.
Oh, but that don't make any sense,
So
though.
$13.37 on mine is the difference on that, but my amount is still wrong, which is what I'm not understanding.
All right,
My
hang
amount
on.
is right, but my
Let's just-
difference is wrong. I mean, I can't come up with the difference. It's really $6.
But why? Okay, why are there two answers there? Two slots for two answers.
One of them says, what is Sabrina's difference in interest? So what's the difference in the interest that they pay?
Okay.
And the next one says, what will she pay on March the 9th, 2016? Which is vague because you don't know who they're talking about, which person. So I finally figured out it's the last person they're talking about.
But that don't make any sense.
No,
There's only one. There's only one difference between the two people.
I
Yeah.
know, but
Oh,
it's,
let me see what you did.
Okay, I got it. And that's for the difference, which is the difference between two interests, which is for the 963 and the 970, whatever. And that's 1337. But then you have to take 16,000 and add the 966, 44 in order to get how much she will pay if she doesn't pay at all.
Part B is maturity.
I wouldn't do this all.
It would have been a lot more easier. That's what they said. That's what they
But
said.
hey,
Well, I think the moral of the story is you have to read it carefully because sometimes they're not following the book. Well, you may be better off than the rest of us. We're off.
but see, I like this little thing is where it tells you what's the right answer when you submit it.
I hope I set them up where you can go back and do it over.
Yeah, you have it set up to where you can do it at times.
All right, let's get Jennifer out of this bind she's in here. So September the 14th to the end of year. Okay, that's 365. And then
To the end of the year, it says online until January 27th.
yeah, I know we got to add that in later.
Yeah,
We'll get this part and then we'll add 27 to it.
Well, September 14th is 257.
September 14th is what, 257?
I've been trying to figure this out. I ain't very good at this year.
So that's 8. 108? What y'all got?
I don't know, so figure.
yeah, 108.
This is 2 and I don't need the in there.
I don't think.
Okay, and then 2 January 27th, another 27 days.
So add 27 to 108,
Yeah,
135.
that's what I got.
So then we take the 2,800, times it by the interest, right?
All right, get the interest. PRT. $2,500 times 0.1175. Must have went to a payday loan. And then we're going to have 135. Is this exact or ordinary?
Exact. Exact.
Ordinary. The book says ordinary.
Mine says she considered the loan on exact interest.
Okay. Mine just says ordinary, so I'm going to use what? No, 360 is the ordinary.
And I have
365. Remember, exact number of days in a year is 365. There's actually 365 and a quarter. That's pretty much. That's why we got to get that other leap year day in there. So, calculator.
Did you say exact is 360?
No. How many days are in a year?
365.
Yeah. So that's exact.
That's exact. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I thought, okay. Mistaken.
I read something somewhere where the banks, by using 360, they can assume that there's 12 months of 30 days each. Sounds like a bunch of malarkey to me, but I think it's just an excuse to make more money. And it could have been also, if you think about it, the banks started loaning money a long time ago before we had calculators. It may be easier to calculate. I don't know. I'm just. So, using my numbers, I got the interest is $110.16. Your mileage may vary. Probably will. Okay?
Good job. Got it.
I got it right the first time.
Your numbers the same as mine or different?
Yes, different.
Different?
They're different. But I plugged my numbers into your formula over
Well,
there,
there you go.
and it
That's
worked out.
that's basically what you need to do.
Mine worked out.
Third time's a charm.
Well, I think we just got to figure out how to use this thing. I thought I'd go over here and see what do I have to do to actually look at anything. Morgan, do I have your permission to show your problem on this?
93 divided by 365.
So this is what I see. This is the problem we had so much trouble with. This is Morgan's. So I can see her numbers and her answer, both of which are correct now.
They definitely work.
I'm kind of curious. I should have tried to find one that wasn't right to see.
And that is,
So I'm trying to figure out if I can look at this and say, "Oh, I know what she did wrong."
I might be able to go back into it.
That's all right. I'll play around with it.
Well, I wanted to see if we can go back into it. It said, oh, you have unlimited attempts.
Yeah, I got it set up that way.
Okay.
As long as you're willing to work, I am good.
Bam, there it is.
As long as you're willing to work on this, I'm okay. Well, anyway, I hope we finally make friends with the online section by the end of the semester.
Negative.
You know, I work on computers all day long. I'm not sure I've ever seen a computer learning system that I really like, though. But I guess we've got to keep trying. And we'll eventually get this figured out. But you know what I figure right now? We should declare victory and go home. That's what I think. Oh, good Lord, I'm wore out. I got a feeling this particular video may not get edited very much because it'd take forever to figure out what parts I can cut out and what parts I need to leave in. Does anybody ever watch the videos, by the way?
I'm gonna watch the ones from Thursday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Oh, it's riveting, thrilling stuff, I tell you.
I can't even
I don't know, I
find
might not have to after watching today's video.
I can't even find them.
Or after doing today.
What?
I can show you.
There's a thing down the.
I'll
They're
tell
on-
you what, I just found my study guide for my cooking class yesterday and my test.
You know how to go into Blackboard, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, watch. See right there? Videos from class.
It's on the left-hand
There they
side.
are.
And then you can
Not
just
only
get-
that, watch
right here
this.
you can just get the pictures, or you can do the video. I do the pictures.
How cool is that?
There you go.
I will see you Thursday.
I will need that.
How cool is that?
That is cool.
Nothing's too good for you all. Oh, that's funny.
Glad we're easy to impress.
You're a good group. I've bragged on y'all a couple of times. It usually takes, a lot longer into the semester to where we're having fun. But you guys have been fun pretty much from the start.
Well, that is a good thing.
Yeah, it usually takes people a while to figure me out, I guess, and it's okay,
You ask my relatives. They
What's the-
make quick jokes and they're joking, but they're also like, you don't spin it with facts.
Well, I'm trying to be, we're trying to get a particular place here, but that don't mean we have to be, like a funeral procession to get there.
Right.
We can have a little fun, can we?